Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and I'm looking at the price of Solana here. And part of the reason for doing this is the fact that I've been in a long trade with Solana that I was a bit foolish with, to be honest. What I did was I set an order to go long at some point. I didn't really plan out the entry very well at all, and most of yesterday I was like very underwater. Now, what I should have done is really, when it got down to being like in a 5 or 10% loss, I should have just closed the trade and then taken advantage of like re-entering at that super low level of whatever it was, 17, what was it? 17, well, right down here, 177. That was amazing, you see. That would have been brilliant. You know, if I'd have gone long from there, it would have been fantastic. But in fact, my long entry was at 185, which is pretty terrible compared to what it did over the last few days. That said, you know, over the past month or so, it's been over 200, so it seemed like, you know, 185 would be fine, but just goes to show that you can't actually do that. You can't just you know, have a price in mind and just think, oh yeah, that'll be all right. You should use proper TA and use our indicator Quadzilla to sort of get some better ideas. Anyway, so normally by the time this gets back in profit, I would just close it, take profit, and then look for a new entry. That's probably what I should do anyway. But the fact that I woke up with it reasonably in profit, you know, 16%, $263, I decided to set a few orders. So what I've got is a stop loss here to close it if the price comes back to near my entry. I've actually got a trailing stop loss set here as well that was there to sort of prevent any major collateral damage, but that was going to be a last resort, so I probably don't need that anymore. And then what I've done, I've set a full take profit up here at 193. I might push that a little bit higher though. I'm just going to have a look at the chart. So this is Solana USD, and it's had quite a pump up overnight. This is only the 1 minute time frame, but if we look at the 1 hour, you can see that we had this massive great dump from Tuesday all the way until last night on Wednesday, and now we've been climbing back up, you know. So is this a sustainable rally? That's the question. Well, if we put on Quadzilla, it doesn't look too bad actually. It looks pretty good. You can see here that we've got this level here, 199.5, that we'll probably reject at because that's a bearish retracement line. So the price will probably go up to there and then retrace back. But at this point, I do like to look on lower time frames, especially when I can see the yellow and green EMAs coming towards each other, and there might be a possibility that they cross. Now, this is the 1 hour, so I'd normally think, oh, okay, let's try it on the half hour and see if it looks likely that they might cross. So I go to the half hour. I think, okay, that looks interesting. So these have just crossed there. And you can see that Quadzilla also put in this green shading here, which means that the yellow and green EMAs were approaching at a rate where it was likely that they would probably cross, and indeed they did. Okay, so that's a bullish sign that is there. So we've got this retracement here at this level here, about 188.6, which is why I've got this partial take profit here. So if we get there, it will actually take half of my trade off the table. So we'll wait and see what happens when we get there. I mean, looking down here, you can see that the convergence band is getting well above the 80% line. So we'd normally start to see some kind of rejection quite soon. But we haven't got like a red background like there. So what I'd really love is if we kind of like wick up there. In fact, that's done that already. So did my trade take profit? Not yet. I might have made a mistake here that I'm looking at Solana USD on the BitGet chart, and I'm actually trading it on Bybit. And I'm actually trading with Solana as the capital. So it's not Solana USDT, it's Solana USDP, this one here. So the actual level I should have set my take profit at was 188.58. What did I have? 189.27. Damn. Never mind. There's a lesson to be learnt there. Okay, so what we'll probably expect to happen now is a little bit of a pullback, and then we go back up again. And the reason I'm expecting us to go back up again is purely because we've got this cross here. Now there is a bullish retracement down here at 182. However, the fact that these EMAs are looking bullish makes me think we could go up a little bit more first. Nevertheless, I do think I should actually change my entry to 188.56. So let's do that. And that would have closed so beautifully, wouldn't it? Never mind. Actually, now it's pulled back a little bit and we've still got the bullish cross there. Maybe I will cancel that partial take profit. I think I will just do that. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm actually thinking to myself, don't be so stupid. You've just got out of a horrible trade. Your entry's rubbish. Just close it and move on. But something in my mind is telling me that I should not do that. I think the thing to do is the fact that I'm trading Solana, but really I probably should be looking at Bitcoin because we want to see what Bitcoin's doing because that's going to drag the rest of the market around with it. And you can see what it's done. This is only the 1 minute time frame, but you know, from like 9 o'clock this morning, we had a bit of a pump. It came back, did this retracement beautifully, lovely. Went back up. We had a bearish retracement there. It went up there, wicked into that, and then pulled back a little bit. Okay, so that at the moment doesn't look like it's going to go particularly down because it's already done this retracement here. There is another one down here at 108.820, but I can't see it going back there just at the moment. So let's just have a look on the 1 hour time frame to see if we've got any EMA crosses. Not quite, but it is starting to look that way, isn't it? We've got the green shading there, which is really nice. That's good. And I bet something like the 45 minute we'll be able to see almost across. Yeah, look. So what might happen? I suppose it is possible we might pull back to here, 108.440. I don't know what to do. Let's go back to Solana, look on the 1 minute. Okay, well it did wick lower than that low there. I think if it comes down to this level here, 187.05, I should get out of the trade. So I think what I'll do is put my stop loss at 187.03, that'll do. But at the moment, I'm going to keep my eye on Bitcoin to see if these EMAs cross in this candle that closes in like 2 minutes' time. So that worked out okay with Bitcoin. The EMAs did cross. Okay, well, we really want to see that on the 1 hour. But that's a good step in the right direction, I would say. And Solana's going back up now, which is great. So my trade should look all right. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe I'll finish the video here. Use that as the thumbnail. Now, I didn't really have a plan when I started this video, so I hope that what you've seen is like, you know, what can go on in your head when you're trying to get out of a trade. And in a way, one of the hardest things about trading is actually knowing when to take profit. I know I should take profit now and then just look for a new position, but I just can't bring myself to do it. If you've got any comments about this, please leave them down below. If you've enjoyed watching the video, please give it a big fat like. If you think I'm an idiot, give it a big fat like. But I'd love to know what you think anyway. While you're down there, please do make sure you are subscribed and you've got notifications turned on. And above all, tell your friends. Oh, and by the way, we'll be going live. That's me and Maff, the coder of Quadzilla, our amazing indicator. We'll be going live at midday UK time today. Now that's in about an hour or so's time. So midday UK is 11 AM UTC. So if you can make it, please come over to SaveWithCrypto and we'll see you there and we can talk about the markets, what happened to my trade, all that. Okay?